on my phone.
Yeah, I had to.
Mine is on my notepad on my computer right here, right here, right
Mine
here.
is right here on my phone. So here's my list. I want to show it to y'all so y'all can read it, but no, my list is there. Oh, we're live. I'm sorry. Hey, everyone.
Oh my god!
I'm weak.
I feel like he
had
just.
no
I just feel like he
idea.
just threw us into
Right. I had
with
no
no
idea.
warning. No
Right.
warning.
Listen, I forgot that I had already, and it took a little time or two for the button to be pressed. But yes, we're live. Hello, people. Shondo's in the building. Shondo's
Hold
in
on,
the
let me
building.
get my emoji so I can get to the Shondas. Okay.
Let me click on that. Yeah, we're here. Dami, you never sent me the email. Dami, send me an email because we need to talk. Dami, email me before. Don't even wait till the end of the live, Dami. Email me now so I'll have it when I get off. Because you play it. God, Dami.
Oh, everything Morphe is half off. Wait a minute. Let me see.
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry. That has nothing to do with this.
Well, hello, people. I wanted to come in. Let me put a Shondo in my own chat. I always be forgetting to put my own Shondos in the chat. Mm. So, y'all, let me tell y'all how this came to be. So, if you remember, after they had the Hezekiah Walker and John P. Key versus battle, myself, Ebby, and Terrence went live. And we had a great live that night talking about the verses, talking about all things gospel. Um, we've all been in multiple gospel groups, choirs, so forth and so on. And Pastor Stephen McNeil Leonard, come on, Pastor.
Yes, Pastor.
Yes.
True.
So we thought,
First, giving honor to God.
giving out to God who's ahead of my life,
Pastor,
Pastor,
Yes,
saints,
but then
friends,
good break
everyone in
comes
their
right
respective
no,
along
places.
with.
Pastor, then the first lady, all of the pulpit guests.
Exactly.
Right.
We know protocol around here. Let's
Protocol.
very clear.
Yes, God. Anyway, ignore the loudness in the background. We were out there chatting it up and talking to being loud earlier in the living room, and they're still out there. So anyway, we said that, you know what, we all love gospel music. We've all been involved with gospel music on multiple levels. And so we said that we would come on and we would talk some gospel music. And our topic today is all-timers. So I challenged them and myself to come up with is 4 lists. I'm sorry. And each list is top 5 of all time. So it's the top 5 female singers, male singers, groups and or choirs, and albums. What was the hardest list for you, Ebby?
Uh, Groups. Well, no, male singers was the hardest for me
Oh, that was the easiest for me.
because I had some honorable mentions. It was too many, and I listen. It's hard to narrow down to just five.
The male top 5 came like that. I was like, bam, 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 bam. Let's do it. I was here for it. Female, it took me like, okay, if I put her in, I'm gonna leave. Then I remembered something. I was like, oh, I forgot about her. Yeah. Even right. Let me make sure that the person I just said is at least the honorable mention. I just thought about one.
Right, because I got several honorable mentions.
Wow.
I just thought about one. Okay. So all right. So yeah, Terrence, what was your hardest list?
Female and male solo artists. That was hard because it was so many. And I
For
said,
me,
well, I can't have this one and not have this one. And then I was like, damn, well, I can't miss this one. So somebody got to go. Forget
for
it.
me,
I'm just
it
going
was
to do honorable
albums.
mentions. And that's what I did.
For me, it was albums. It was albums for me because whenever I would do one, I would say, "What about that one?"
Right.
And then I knew I left one out, and I was like, "Oh!" And then I had to stack them against each other and be like, "Okay, when I go through the discography of this album, which one holds up?" It was like, yes, oh God,
It was a lot.
it was a lot. The albums was a lot for me, and I know y'all gonna be mad that I left certain people out, and I know. Anyway,
Shenanigans already.
okay, you go. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, let's go. Abby, since you chose, you go first.
Okay, so mine
tell
are
us-
not in any specific order.
Yeah, you can tell us
Right.
it's not in order, and you can tell
Yeah.
us.
It's
Please
not
tell
in
us
any
why.
specific order. Right. I feel like it was some technical difficulties and we were frozen for a second, but I think we're good now. Because I'm watching it. I have us up on
Yeah.
on my other screen, but I think we're good now. Okay, so my top 5 male gospel artists are in no particular order: Fred Hammond, Tone, Jay Moss,
Yes.
Daryl Coley, and Travis Green. And then we can discuss and
Do
argue.
you have any honorable? Well, tell us why. You can tell us why you have these people.
Fred Hammond has some of my favorites, like "Get You Through," like
Worship songs.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like he has an interlude where He Knows My Name gets me every time. I be listen, ugly cry, snot, and all.
Oh, dear
Just
God.
from this, listen, just that He Knows My Name. I can't even listen. We're not even gonna go because I'm already right here with so I'm gonna just
Lord Pastor, we got to get your bless oil, honey. And
listen. He sees. Listen, he knows my every thought. Listen, he hears me when I cry. Listen, I can't. Okay, so that is why Fred Hammond and some of my favorite songs, gospel songs to bop to, are some Fred Hammond songs.
Mhm.
Tone, like that goes without saying.
Right.
Tone, B Slade, whatever he's calling himself at this point, that man can sing.
Right.
He can sing heaven down if he wanted to.
Who?
Tone.
Tone.
Okay, I got you.
Mr. Daryl Coley.
We ain't even got to
You
go
gotta
there.
say nothing.
Listen.
We ain't got to go there. We can skip.
He needs no
Now
explanation.
he
Yeah,
needs
we ain't gotta go
absolutely
there.
no
No
explanation.
explanation. None at all.
And Travis Green, with the honorable mention of Jonathan McReynolds, their worship songs do something to me.
All right.
It do something like it. Ooh, it get deep down in my shanana, and it do something.
I'll read.
And it does something. It does something to me, for me. It gets me. It ushers me in behind the veil. That's where their music gets me. So that's why they are on my list. Terrence, your top 5 men.
Lord, you named most of my list. My top 5 is Daryl Coley, Jay Moss, Tone, Smokey Norfolk, and William Beckton.
Come on, William Beckton.
My honorable mentions are Donna Lawrence, John P. Key, and Fred Hammond.
Interesting.
Mm.
So tell us why your people. Now this is an interesting list you got. That your honorable mentions is like, ooh,
right.
Yeah.
Wait till you get my.
For me, Donna Lawrence hit all of his worship songs. Like, come on now, Seasons, When the Saints Come to Worship, the prayer, Jabez, like all of those I lived off of. They get you through. William Beckton, Be Encouraged, my most favorite.
Yes,
Most. I'll be with it. Smokey can sing his face to the floor. He can. Smokey can sing his face to the floor. His first album was everything for me.
Listen.
J Moss, his first album, everything to me. Got me through a lot. That first album, I ain't gonna lie. And Tone, I mean, we ain't even got to go there. Derek Coley, we ain't got to go there. Listen, we'll be here all day talk about Derek Coley. Same.
Hey, Jonathan, we was waiting for you. We was waiting for you to show through.
Right. But John P. Key, now, Lord Jesus Christ. That man right there, Lord, he need to come back out. I want him to come back out and do a concert with just all the hits. That's all I want him to do.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
All right. So my list, God, it sounds like we got some of the same lists. My lists are number one, and then the rest of them are in no particular order. But Daryl Coley is number one. Right. Yeah. The rest are, 2 through 5 in no particular order. So it's Daryl Coley and then the rest. So Daryl Coley. Then I have Reverend James Moore.
Yes.
Reverend James Moore was old school male gospel and was doing things that some of the new school male gospel singers try to do right now. With Reverend James Moore, you just take them teeth out of his mouth and say, nah, these getting in my way, and take them teeth and get this.
Right.
You understand something. He was the blueprint for a lot of the runs and riffs that a lot of the younger male gospel singers try to emulate. Even Daryl Coley pointed to Reverend James Moore and talked about his influence on him. John P. Key. I love John P. Key because he has this raspiness to his voice, and it's so heavy and so dark. But if you're a tenor singer, John P. Key be getting up there in the stratosphere. And it doesn't sound like it because it's so effortless, and he got that hard, dark voice. But John P. Key be doing some runs where I don't even think he be knowing some ad libs. I don't even think he be knowing what he be saying. He just be speaking in tongues sometimes. I'll be like, what did you just say there? I don't even think you know what you said, John. Next is Micah Stampley. Listen, let me help you understand something.
Okay. I knew he was coming. I knew you was going to bring him into the
I'm ready. People talk about Sister Donnie McClurkin. Oh, I said that. Oh, I'm sorry. Donnie McClurkin.
Don't do Auntie Donnie like that. Singing, Jonathan.
People talk about Donnie and Donnie McClurkin's range and what he can do in the upper register, but Donnie McClurkin can't do what Micah Stampley can do. I'm sorry. Micah Stampley is a worshiper. Micah Stampley will sit there and worship, and I will be on the ground like, God, I'm here. I'm ready. Right. Micah Stampley made my top. Oh, man, he can sing anything for me. And Fred Hammond. Fred Hammond rounded out my top because Fred Hammond, listen, Fred Hammond really, for the new generation, made gospel contemporary. Now, 2 honorable mentions. Tone is my first honorable mention because Tone can sing down. And Tone was robbed of his career as a gospel artist because of, we ain't gonna even go down. That's a whole nother line for a whole nother time.
Right.
And my other honorable mention, even though he was a part of a group, his voice can stand alone. Marvin Winans. Marvin Winans can sing. I'm with it. By himself. I'm not doing this with you, Dami. I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I can't.
All right, so that's my top. That's my top males of all time. All right, Terrence, we'll let you start with the top female. Top 5 female.
All right, I had to.
Wait a minute. Wait, hold on. I see Pastor put Ty Tribbett. Ty Tribbett can't sing.
Yeah, he can. Now, don't get me wrong. Ty Tribbett does have songs that I do like.
Right. No,
But as far as
I just can't go to Ty Tribbett concert because he be
yeah,
doing
I can't.
he be doing way too much on stage, and he be like, I'll be like, oh, what are you doing?
Listen, Ty Tribbett made one of my lists, so just don't give him too much now. Wait a minute.
No, I ain't get it. Look,
I ain't giving too much. When I go to his stage, when I go to his concert, I'll be like, I'll be tired looking at it. I'll be like, oh, you're doing a whole lot.
All right, for females, this was hard, but for females, I can no order. I came with Yolanda Adams, Shirley Caesar, Dottie Peoples, CeCe Winans, and Vicki Winans.
Vicki, oh yes, Vicki, yes.
Okay.
You want to explain why, your people?
Well, you know, my mama was in love with the Winans, so I always was listening to Vicki and CeCe and Marvin and BB and all of that. Yolanda Adams, my most favorite from her, and it is in my list, was her live album that she did in Washington. Like, Let Us Worship Him, The Battle Is Not live. Oh my God, I was done for it. And Shirley Caesar, like she's one of the greats. Like, I don't feel like we can do this and not mention Shirley Caesar, in my opinion.
Interesting.
Okay. So y'all gonna be mad at my list.
Y'all gonna be mad at my list too, because
my list is very new school. And my list is very, very new school. And it's not to take away from any of the great women of gospel who laid the foundation. My list is just who speaks to me.
All right, well, let's hear it.
So my top five female are Yolanda Adams, Deandria Johnson, Tamala Mann,
yes,
Kiera Sheard,
yes,
and there's a tie at the bottom with Tasha Cobb and Jacqueline Carr.
Tasha Cobb almost made mine. Tasha Cobb
was
right there. Tasha Cobb almost made the honorable mention cut, but she wanted the honorable mention cut. But Tasha Cobb was I was like, she was knocking like, what you doing, El Teddy? What you doing? I'm here.
Like, I know you see me over here trying to sing the heavens down. Listen.
But you want to tell us why your people on your list?
All of these women, there is something in the back of their throats. I don't know if there's a little piece of heaven that came down with them that's just sitting in the back. There is something about when they could sing anything. It don't matter what it is that they're singing. They could be singing. They could get a Patti LaBelle and hit the ABCs, and I swear Jesus is over there in the corner, springing the Holy Ghost on it.
Yep.
There is, listen, something that'll make your spirit quicken when they open their mouths. They could just have sang a note, not even an actual word. And your spirit be like, oh, okay, so this is what we're finna do. All of these women do that for me. Every single one of them. Y'all can see I base most of my list off of my feelings.
I see. And gospel music is a feeling. And in the chat, feel free to put your own lists out there as we go through our list, because we would love to know what. And we're gonna pause after we do the solos before we get to the groups and the album, so we can get more stuff from you all and acknowledge what you all are saying in the chat. Because I don't want y'all to think we're not thinking about y'all, but y'all know the heart for these lists, God.
Listen, Tamala Mann. Listen. And I had the pleasure of earlier this year, before COVID came in and started excuse my language, started messing up everything. I had the distinct pleasure, as I wave around my hand with a tattoo on it, the distinct pleasure of hearing her live during that Tyler Perry farewell play. And when she got up there and sang God Will Provide, when I say I wanted to lay down on the floor of that stadium on my face and talk to Jesus about it. Listen. And it wasn't like I had a great seat where I was like down on the floor right in front of her. Like we had good seats, but they weren't like, oh my God, I could reach out and touch them seats.
Right.
All right. So my list.
I'm sorry, Dami's comment.
I'm not. That's why I said, well, all right, because I had to agree with Tommy Rose.
Like, that stopped me in my track. Okay, Father God.
So my list is in no particular order. It's just my top 5, no particular order. I reached back because I had to bring out somebody who a lot of us forgot.
Mm-hmm.
But if y'all go back and remember, nobody sang like her. Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Yes.
I had to go back. And think about that one. Because baby, Vanessa Bell Armstrong.
Yes.
Y'all know she sang the theme song to Amen.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Bell, if you don't know Vanessa Bell Armstrong, I'm sorry, you don't know a female gospel singer. She see a lot of these runs the girls try to do now. Child. You know, Twinkie, Vanessa, and Sean and Karen was doing back in the 70s and 80s. But I'm just gonna be quiet about that. Next on my list is, of course, Cece. Cece can sit there and just hold a note.
Uh-huh.
And I know God is descending on a chariot of fire from the heavens when she hold that note. Baby, she done sang Alabaster Box for me one day at a live concert.
Listen.
And I went out. I was done.
That Alabaster Box gave me irritation.
And the first time I knew I caught the Holy Ghost, the Spirit, I was, I think, 11 years old. And I went to a concert with BB and Cece, and she sang Don't Cry for Me. And this was back when Cece was still holding a soprano. Baby, I said, oh my God. Oh, I felt that one, child. Took me out. Cece took me out, honey. Yolanda, you cannot have a list without Yolanda. Yolanda, right. You hate on Yolanda if you want. Yolanda is female gospel music. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yolanda does things, you know, some people say she's more commercialized now. Call her what you want, but let Yolanda go to your church and
you
really
better believe it.
And she was still saying you down.
You better believe it.
Down. This next one so often gets forgotten, but people forget what she does. LaShawn Pace. Baby, LaShawn Pace.
Baby.
LaShawn Pace sings down, baby. Kimberell wishes she could do the things, the acrobatics that LaShawn Pace could do. I'll tell you what I know. And the last of my top 5, because I always want to do, I gotta remember the old greats. And because she was a pioneer, and because I still listen to some of her albums right now for what it was, I love a good Mahalia.
Mahalia, I was gonna put Mahalia.
Music.
Listen,
baby, Mahalia was the old.
Mahalia, yes.
She's the pioneer, baby. I will listen to some Mahalia. Oh my, listen, you can't listen.
Her singing at the end of what's the name of that damn movie? Oh God, was she at the funeral?
Oh, you talk about
She said, "I'm going home to be with my Lord." Listen, just Jesus, come take me now. Just come to me, God. I'm ready.
We'll be done with the troubles.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all I need.
Yes,
I know the movie. I can't think of the name, but I know what you're talking about.
Imitation of Life.
Yeah.
Oh dear God, listen.
Imitation of Life. That's what that is. Listen, Mahalia Jackson. I had to put Mahalia, and while I wanted to put Shirley, I couldn't put Shirley and not put Mahalia. Because Mahalia, baby, she opened her mouth and that was God right there. That's my 5.
Pastor, I was put you up into that last one. That last.
My honorable mentions is I gotta put Tremaine Hawkins because I love Tremaine Hawkins, and Tremaine Hawkins sings down.
Yes, she does.
Even though people pick at her now and people say what they want, say what you want. I love Karen. Karen sings for me. So Karen is one of my honorable mentions. And this one is just a personal honorable mention. But Timony Figueroa can sing anything for me. I love Timony Figueroa. I love her. She sings down for me.
Yes, she does.
Need me a Timothy Figueroa in my life, and I'm good with that. And those are my honorable mentions for greatest female gospel singers of all time. So we did the men, we did the women. So before we go any further, and while we're letting the chat compile their list, because I know it's hard. It was hard for us. It took us some time. We've been doing this for what, 2 days now?
Mm-hmm.
So it took us some time. What makes a great? What do you need to be a great male gospel singer first? What is if a young man said, "What do I need to have to be a great male gospel singer?" What do you tell him?
Oh, you have that list. I can't say that because I know some of these really good singers don't even know who Jesus is. So listen, what I would like for them to have is start off with a sincere personal relationship with the Lord. That's where I would like you to start. I know everybody ain't got that, but that's where I would like you to start.
You can't fake that. That's something you can't fake.
No,
and
you can't.
Absolutely. You cannot fake that. Well,
okay, Pastor McNeil. I'm here for Pastor McNeil's list. Other than Kim Barrow, I don't deal with Kim Barrow. Throw that bitch away.
Tell you what, I don't like Kim Barrow.
Everybody else you mentioned, I'm here for.
We're gonna get to these. I'm gonna read everybody's list, and we're gonna talk about these lists in a second. Terrence, what do you say a good male gospel singer should have?
I agree with Ebby. You got to have a personal relationship. I don't want nobody trying to sing my soul to heaven if you don't believe in the same thing I believe in, or if you're not in it for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like when a person, I feel like to get me, because choir, soloists, all of that gets me quicker than the pastor do sometimes. And if your spirit ain't right, I'll be able to tell that. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just singing just to be singing. And yeah, you sound good, but what is your purpose?
Like where's the oil? Because you could be technically an amazing singer, but if you ain't got this is very cliche. It's the anointing that makes a difference. Mm-hmm. And what's happening with you? Because I know some technically amazing singers, but they ain't got the oil. Mm-hmm. And when they try and fake like they got the oil, those who really know be like, that ain't. And some people could be going up for it because they don't really know.
Right.
But I know, and that ain't it. So I'd be like, oh, that was cute. And they was like, oh no, she went off. Oh, she got the spirit. No, she didn't. That's not what that was. But okay, cool.
Well, for me, once we establish that you do have that relationship and you do have that anointing, for me, I like a good male gospel singer. No matter what type of male voice you have, no matter if you are first tenor all the way down to if you are a bass, okay? Know your voice and know how to move around your voice. And I think that's what made Daryl Coley what he was. Daryl Coley used to get in there and do little things, and he would be talking to you, and it would sound like he was singing. And so for me, that's what it is for me. I just need you to be able to know, like I can listen to a John P. Key who has a very heavy voice, the same way I can listen to a Micah Stampley that has a very, very high-pitched voice, and know that both of them gonna be able to do everything they can with their voice. And I don't like when male gospel singers try to emulate female gospel singers.
Right.
I like a male gospel singer to be a male gospel singer. Mm-hmm. There are certain riffs, or there are certain, nuances in the music that you do that that is, that's what male gospel singers do, and that's what female gospel singers do. And sometimes you can kind of mesh it a little, but I still want to know that is what it is. Another thing that I'm gonna say is, well, no, I'll talk about this when we get to albums.
Can I just throw another? I had something hit my spirit as another honorable mention for male gospel singers, Rance Allen.
Oh, Rance Allen.
I don't know why, just
I need him to holler now. Listen, Rance Allen has had some great duets. I like the duet he had with Dietrich Haddon. He had a great duet with Dietrich Haddon. And that traded that he did with John P. Key on the Colorblind album, that was, listen, I used to wear that song out with Rance Allen and John P. Key. And they used to be, you talking about singing?
Look, the CD started skipping. You done played it out so much, didn't it?
I'm gonna tell you. One of my honorable mentions, and this is someone who, to me, had she done more gospel, would definitely be top 5, was Whitney. Whitney was going to be an honorable mention because Whitney was gospel. Whitney was gospel that they just put into secular. Baby, let me tell you something. Oh, Whitney, and you go back and look at some of those old rare found videos of her singing at church. She could have been drunk. She could have been high. She could have been all of those in between. But baby, that woman sang gospel and sang down.
Mm-hmm.
Down. Yes. All right. So let's look at some of these lists that they have come up with. So let me go back. Shakira say, she talked about that live Yolanda Adams album was good, but we'll get to albums in a little bit. She talked about that. We'll get to albums in a little bit. Pastor McNeil said Crystal Rucker, Sarah Jordan Powell, Sean Pace, Karen Clark Sheard, Kim Burrell. I'm not, my issue with Kim Burrell is not political or her views. If I'm going just sheerly based on her talent, her voice, and her ability, I never cared for her voice. The first time I heard Kim Burrell, I never cared for, she has that very raspy, it's just real raspy. She does a lot of run, and sometimes it seems overbearing and a bit too much, because I like a good clarity of, I need to hear the tone, the timbre of your voice, and I needed to be clear. And Kim Burrell just doesn't have that. She just does not have. So I never, the first time I ever heard her, when people were going up and up and up about her, I was like, yeah, I don't really care for her. And people got mad with me and wanted to fight people out.
Well, child, they say she the vocal Bible.
Child, no, she didn't.
Whose Bible?
No.
I'm trying to tell you what the churn is saying.
No. Absolutely not.
Return to sender. We don't want that.
Jonathan said Yolanda Adams, Vanessa Bell Armstrong, Tina Campbell. Tina Campbell sings down. She might be crazy.
Yes.
Now, she is certifiable, but Tina Campbell sings down. You hear me? Tamala Mann sings down. She always ushers in the spirit. Melanie Davis. Do I know Melanie Daniels? I mean, not Davis Daniels.
Yes, you do know Melanie. You don't know who Melanie Daniels is? The light-skinned lady?
Oh, yeah. I had to think about. I thought that's who that was at first, but I remember now. I'm not a big gospel head, but CeCe and Yolanda Adams are two who definitely be on my list. CeCe's voice is the finest. Listen, CeCe just has a voice and some of the prettiest teeth in all of music.
Okay.
Right. She has some pretty teeth in all of music, gospel or secular. Can I tell you? Riri sings down too. Now Riri sings some gospel. Riri sings some gospel. Hate Retha, as we like to call her.
Right.
Hate Retha.
Not that we want to speak ill of the dead, but
all right. So now we get to groups and choirs. We'll save albums for last.
Okay.
Now, groups and choirs. I thought at first I had this one down. I'll go first on this one. But then I started thinking about groups and choirs. And the fact that groups and choirs were both together made it difficult. Because I could easily tell you 5 choirs and I could easily tell you 5 groups.
Yes.
Right.
So here's mine in no particular order. The Winans, commissioned. Gotta have commission. The Anointed Pace Sisters, the Clark Sisters.
You should have did 2 different ones.
Exactly. I done named 4 groups already. Okay.
Wow.
And then I put the Tri-City Singers because the Tri-City Singers sing down. My honorable mentions are BBSCC Winans, the Love Fellowship Crusade Choir, and the New Life Community Choir that sings with John P. Key. Those are my 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Y'all see how hard that was?
I see where you went there. I see where you went there. I see where you went.
I'm not. Wait a minute. BB and CC did not make the top 5. Do you know how hard that was for me?
But I wouldn't consider them a group. They're a duo because it's just the 2 of them.
That's not a group. To me, a duo is still a group.
Okay.
The Braxton, no, we're not doing the Braxton. Little baby.
Yeah, we ain't doing the Braxton baby.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh God. Oh God.
Okay. No God. Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Abby.
Mine are Shekinah Glory Ministries.
Yes.
The
Walls Group.
Okay.
Mississippi Mass Choir.
Come on, Mississippi Mass.
Ricky Dillard and UG. And Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers.
Yes, Donald Lawrence. I wonder if Ricky Dillard did that too. This is so difficult for me. The reason that Ricky Dillard did not make the honorable mentions over Love Fellowship Crusade and New Life Community, because the things that New Life Community and Love Fellowship Crusade Choir did for choirs in general, their impact on the choirs across America almost cannot be matched.
Right.
For what those 2 choirs did for all choirs across America.
Now I only had 1 honorable mention, and that was Kirk Franklin and the Family.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Baby.
I'm with it.
Baby.
I'm with it.
Don't worry, I feel you. You know who else I think and I almost made my list because of what he did for gospel music. He changed gospel. Andre Crouch. I really wanted to have Andre Crouch.
He's on one of my lists.
He's on your one of your okay. Yeah, I really wanted him on my male list because Andre Crouch changed the game for gospel music.
Absolutely.
Changed.
He is the foundation of my love for gospel music. Andre Crouch is the foundation.
Changed the game. Walter Hawkins and what he did for gospel music. These are pioneers that changed the game. Orlando Draper. Hello, somebody. Orlando Draper. God bless the dead. All right, I'm sorry, Terrence. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Mine was in no particular order. Mine was Hezekiah Walker and the LFT, Richard Smallwood and Vision, Ricky Dillard and New G.
Come on, Richard Smallwood.
Kurt Franklin and God's Property, and James Hall.
Wait a minute. You are not going to put Kirk Franklin and God's Property above Kirk Franklin and the Family. Oh, you are.
Listen, I got to tell y'all something. God's Property is my most favorite Kirk Franklin album that I listen to from cover to cover. I know every last song going in, and I don't have
to be friends. We cannot be friends.
I'm sorry.
The family.
I'm sorry. I mean,
listen,
all right. Well, then
this is Jesus, let me touch you and see if you are real still. Listen, I don't care. Okay, what you say. That song right there. Listen. Man.
So
My
if
honorable
we just go
mention.
down this road, let's go down and have this argument about these albums.
Hold on.
The
My
album,
honorable
we could have
mention.
He
real
got
arguments.
an honorable
Oh,
mention.
it's
Wait a
honorable
minute.
mention. I'm sorry.
It got to go to Don Lawrence, John P. Key, and Fred Hammond. It do. I love them.
They're
with their
considered
group.
solo artists.
Yeah, but mostly times when they sing, they have their own little choir and group that's with them that singing in the background, and I live for it. That's why it was hard for me. That's why I just made them honorable mentions.
And if we're gonna do an honorable mention, can we honorable mention Take Six as well?
Ooh.
Yes, I love Take Six.
But if I was going to take 6, I would have to take out Commission.
Right, because I feel like they on the same.
No, Commission was always for me. I love Men of Standard too. I love Men of Standard. That was my group back in the day. Reverend Ernest Davis and the Wilmington Testament. Yes.
James Hall will take me out in a minute. I love me some James Hall.
Yes.
Shoot.
Listen. So I know this is going to be a real argument. So
because y'all already gave me much on Kirk Franklin, so this is going to be
with this. When we get to these choirs, so let me ask this: does anyone want to go first? And listen,
I'll break the monotony and go
about
first.
albums.
Yeah,
I'll break
don't get my people Walt Whitman and the Soul Children. Oh God, Jesus!
I'll break the monotony and go first because I know y'all finna beat me down. So go on ahead and get the whooping out there.
Go ahead.
No particular order. My favorite gospel albums.
You got to emphasize the my.
Yeah, mine. Once again, it's Kirk Franklin and God's Property. That's my favorite album. Kirk Franklin and the Rebirth. That's another one of my favorite albums. Hezekiah Walker and LFT, Love is Live album is my favorite. Hezekiah Walker, LFT, and Family Affair is my favorite album. And Yolanda Adams, Live in Washington is my favorite album. My honorable mention.
Okay.
My honorable mentions is J Moss, the J Moss Project. That was his first album.
Yes.
Donald Lawrence, The Grand Finale. That's another one of mine. And Fred Hammond, Purpose by Design.
Okay. All right. So I don't think we're gonna have a lot of the same favorite albums. But that's a good list, Terrence. That's a really good list. So mine are Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers, Go Get Your Life Back.
Oh, I hate you. God, I hate you.
Listen, Anthony Brown and Group Therapy, A Long Way from Sunday. Shekinah Glory Ministries live album. Listen, that'll have you laid out and talking to Jesus for a while. Tone's Out the Box.
I'm with it.
Jonathan McReynolds Cycles, which is a newer album.
Yes, I'm with it.
Travis Green, The Hill. With the honorable mention to Ty Tribbett's Stand Out.
Okay.
All right.
Those are it for me.
Okay. So.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. My last honorable mention is Andre Crouch. I'll be thinking of you. I forgot I turned it down the clock on that.
So I have What You're Looking For by Kirk Franklin and the Family.
I'm with
that
it.
album.
Okay.
Because let me help you understand something. Every single track on that album, I was like, oh man, what is this? I know every track on the album. I can sing it backwards and forward. Thankful by Mary Mary. Thankful by Mary Mary was my bump.
Okay, yeah.
They sang that.
Okay.
Thankful by Mary Mary.
Yes, to be honest.
Go Get Your Life Back by Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Center.
Listen,
That whole album. Oh
that
my
whole I knew every word to every song. I wore that out.
God. The Prime J Bass. Let me tell you something.
Listen,
That's my most favorite.
territory.
I can listen to that and I'll be fine with Donald Lawrence. That is my most favorite song by him.
Oh God.
Get you a good choir that know how to sing that song the right way.
The Heavens Are Telling by Karen.
Yes.
The best album.
Yes.
That whole album, because that was the first. I like Finally, but the problem with Finally was it was basically another Clark Sisters album, because 80% of the songs on there were Clark Sisters songs from when they were with the Clark Sisters. But when she did The Heavens Are Telling, the entirety of that album from song to song, so good. And I listen to that every day. And rounding out my top 5 is Decisions by the Winans. That whole album was everything. I almost said the Winans live from Carnegie Hall, because my grandma used to play that album live from Carnegie Hall every Saturday. But that Decisions album by the Winans was everything. My honorable mentions are Hezekiah Walker and LFT live from Toronto. John P. Key, Colorblind, and BB&CC Heaven. Those
yes, I do like James Fortune and
Yeah,
Fight.
I love James Fortune. I do. I love JJ Harrison, and I also love Kurt Carr. I do. Kurt Carr's first album was everything.
Oh yeah.
I live.
Listen. Some albums, it was albums that I left off the list. Ricky Dillard had about 4 albums that I really was like. Richard Smallwood had about 2 or 3 that I was like, listen, I'm here. Fred Hammond had about 4 or 5 that I was like, come on now. Y'all really want me to do this? Yolanda had about 2 good ones that I was going to do. I was going to do CeCe's second album, because that album speaks to me. It was so many albums that I just was like, oh my God.
Come through Jonathan Ford. Yes, I that's an honorable mention for my albums. John P. Key, Not Guilty album.
Oh yeah, Not Guilty is a good album too.
Loved it. That's my honorable. I forgot all about it.
Because Not Guilty is the album Rain on Us, isn't it? Isn't it?
What?
Was it Rain on Us or Not Guilty? Or was Rain on Us on
yeah, it was. It was.
Okay.
I think it was.
I
think it was. I think it was.
But what I did was, for me, I just started thinking about albums that I had like 2 commissioned albums that I almost put on the list, because I used to what those albums out. I had the Tasha Cobb's second album. That Tone album, I almost put on my list. I almost put on my list. It almost made it.
He did.
It was so hard. The Thomas Community Choir. I know.
I know y'all talking about.
Listen, we had to eliminate so many good albums just to fit on 5.
Somebody mentioned the Wilmington Chester Max Choir. I do like them. I got one of their albums. I do like them. I do. What else?
It was so many groups and albums. Some of the Clark Sisters albums, some of the Pace Sisters albums. It was so many albums I went through looking, and I was like, how you gonna leave this out? Some of those albums with James Moore sang with Mississippi Mass Choir and stuff like that.
Bishop Paul Morton's albums, I had to leave them. Listen.
It was a couple of Georgia Mass Choirs, that Florida Mass Choir. with fully committed. Jesus, so many albums, so many albums. But
Yeah.
yeah, well, let me ask y'all this. And I guess we got the answer to our question um based on your list. Do you prefer the 21st century more contemporary gospel, or do you prefer the more traditional gospel?
It depends on what I'm going through at the time.
Yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
be very honest.
Yeah. It depends. It depends.
Listen, because sometimes I listen to Jacqueline Carr and she don't even be singing nothing. She just be in full blown, just going into ministry and just listen. Ain't even no singing happening. Oh,
Quiet and the competition are out. You know what? Come through, Sister Act 2.
I'm
Sister
not
Act
mad
had
with
great soundtrack.
traditional.
Say what y'all want to say. Sister Act 1 and 2 had great soundtrack because that his eyes on the sparrow with Tanya Blunt and Late Girl.
Lauryn Hill.
Late Girl. They sang that down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tanya Blunt and Late Girl sang that his eyes on the sparrow like it was the last song. The harmonies that they sing on that. What gets y'all more, a good organ player or drummer and Kojic? Oh, it's organ.
Organ.
It's
I got it.
Oregon.
It's organ.
Give me a nasty organ player. That's all I need sometimes.
Give me a nasty Twinkie Clark. Give me some nasty Twinkie Clark.
I know you could play the organ, but can you play a Hammond?
Okay,
that's right. That's a different beast altogether.
Listen, let me tell you something, because Twinkie is the blueprint.
She is.
She's the blueprint. And it starts with Twinkie, which is why she is in the Hammond Organ Hall of Fame. Because every black church in America went out and got them a Hammond organ.
Yeah, a Hammond organ. You better believe it.
Because of Twinkie and what she was doing, and Kojic period, and what they were doing with the Hammond organ. It's always organ. Always. Do you prefer a solo or a choir?
I know
I prefer a choir with a good soloist.
Yeah, me too. Listen, I'm a choir type of girl. I am. I don't mind groups. I don't mind trios. I don't mind soloists. I love me a nasty choir. Give me a nasty choir and I'm here for it.
But y'all know what? For me, that's one of the things that, just like R&B music has died in the 21st century, true choirs have died. The only choir right now that I see that still be trying to do something is Dexter Walker and what's the name of his choir?
Patrick Riddick. We should have added them. Them two, I would love to see them in a versus battle.
Dexter Walker and Zion Movement. That's his name, Zion Movement.
I really want him and Patrick Riddick to do a versus. I would love to.
But you don't see a lot of gospel albums coming out that celebrate the choirs and what choirs can do. Because I'm gonna say like this: you had back in the day, you had the statewide choirs like the Florida, the Georgia, the Mississippi, and then it moved to the choirs that like Love Fellowship Crusade with Hezekiah,
GMWA,
and the New Life Community Choir. Those that really changed the game and made it where choirs felt like we can do this. And then you got to the point where choirs became so lucrative. Then you got to the big time where you had to really have like degrees in vocal music to be in Richard Smallwood or Ricky Dillard or you know what I'm saying? And some of those groups, I'm just being honest. Donald Lawrence and stuff like that. Like they used to have auditions where can we see your degree from what school you went to for vocal music and music theory? Because you knew they were going to be doing things that you had to have an ear and things like that. So, and now
a degree don't always give you that though.
Mm-hmm. Huh? Well, listen, I sung in 6 choirs. Does that count? In one church, okay. My home church got 8 choirs. I sung in 6. Does that count? Can I get in?
Shit. You know what else I started to hate that I saw about choirs is nowadays when I do see a choir, I hate when they have 150-piece choir in the choir stand, but then they have these microphones up front where you got 8 people singing into the microphone. They singing the choir part, the soprano. Then what's the point of the choir?
I don't get that. Is it?
That is because that particular group don't have very many. Is that say anybody come as you are, anybody can join, and then they take the best singers and put them down the front.
Well, so no, because I see Ricky Dillon be doing that.
Or maybe that's all. That's all. Maybe that's all the mics that particular venue has.
I mean, I was asking like, they praise team or something, and they special, so they gonna have their own mic and everybody else in the class there.
Right, they're not even with the choir; they're up, front where you know that they are the ones that are singing separate from the rest of the choir. Mind you, everybody in the choir is singing. I want to hear a good 300-piece choir where they are singing down. There's nothing escapes that. Okay. A good 300-piece choir, just sing it down. Come on now.
But you know what? I love to hear a small choir that sound like they about 3 to 400 voices. Mm-hmm. I love that. No mics. Everybody just full voice down. I live for that.
Or I love a good choir, and we was good for this with all of the groups I was in. That first riff that you're gonna sing, those first 8 or 9 bars that you're gonna sing is nothing but drum beat. They're gonna have the music intro. Then right before you start singing, they shut down all the music. Because all we want to hear is voices. All you want to hear is voices and drum beat. And the drum beat just giving you a beat.
Listen, can I say my choir director was famous for what's the name of the song? Not Encourage My Soul. Oh,
Amber, I mentioned Walt Whitman and the Soul Children.
All of the ground sinking sand. I can hear the song in my head, but Lord knows if I know the name of it, Jesus. And he made it sing it. I almost said acapulco. That is not what that's called.
Acapella.
Thank you. I can't think of the name of the song that saved my life. Oh, I'm old. Where when we returned to the church, our church may even have a choir. They were already doing. Thank you, Pastor McNeil. My hope is built. That's exactly what it is. Hey, Jesus! My mind. I'm old. Jesus, I'm old.
I like to sometimes go back and look at some of the people who were doing things back in the day. Like, I look at an Orlando Draper who in the late 80s, early 90s was. And even people talk about Kirk, but Kirk Franklin been around since God was a child.
You better believe
he was doing stuff in the late 80s and early 90s too. That was, way ahead of his time. Between him and Orlando Draper. And so a lot of the contemporary people who are still trying to carry on the traditions of choirs, they always look back at those people like Kirk and people like Orlando that were doing things that were way ahead of their time, 30 years ahead of their time, and things like that. But it's interesting.
You want to know what's funny? At my home church, and this was hilarious to me. My home church was known for our choirs. We always had a big ass choir. But what was so funny to me was that we will always have a slew of sopranos, a slew of tenors, and a very small section of altos. And baby, you hear the altos over everybody else.
Listen, now I will say this. Hezekiah, while we always know him for those sopranos with the modulations, but Love Fellowship Crusade Choir kept them some altos.
Yes.
Listen, I'll never forget. Um, when they sang on Power Belong to God, and they sang part by part, and they sang that there is nothing
Mhm.
too hard for God. After them Sopranos came in, and them altos said, "Wait a minute, Sopranos, wait a minute, let us bust through with that. There is nothing too hard for God." Child. I said,
Listen,
"Bust through altos."
that reminds me of James Hall and Game the World. When them altos bust through on Game the World, that gets me every time.
Or like when on Kirk Franklin when they sang rain down on me, and then the altos would come in, let it fall. There was always rain. Oh, you said what? Okay, we here. See,
Well, let me ask y'all this: do y'all prefer color schemes or robes?
I like
As
a
a
good
member
robe.
of the
I like a
Fat
good
Choir
nasty
Member
robe.
Coalition, I prefer color coordination. It's hot up under the robes. Let me be very clear.
You better believe it.
I already got on pantyhose, a girdle, a slip, an outfit, and you want me to put a robe on top of that, and I'm already fat. You're doing too much.
And
Tell
the
me it's not
overlay.
be color coordinated.
And
Please.
the overlay. And you better have that
And the
top
overlay.
button
Yeah,
too.
exactly. You better have that top clips. But for me, it depends on the size. If it's a really big choir, I need a robe. If it's a smaller choir, I'm okay with y'all having on the colors. Okay, I'm okay with that. But if you're a big choir, yeah, I want one more nasty robe, buddy, because I want to see all of them cuffed sleeves moving when y'all clapping stuff like
That
that.
is of Beelzebub. That is of Beelzebub. Listen.
But
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
we can find a beautiful burgundy dress that looks good or every size of every woman that's in the choir. A nice little muted pump, and the fellas have on some black slacks, a white shirt, and a burgundy tie to match, and we just gonna keep it pushing
Right.
from there.
Them
Or
robes be nice. I got
whatever
sick
the
of
church
them damn
colors
robes.
were, that's the color of the dress. And the
Yes. I got sick of them robes at my home church. I said, do we got to wear robes? For what? We got all of these churches. We can at least do a color scheme. Do any combination of something.
Now I'm not gonna lie. I remember one time we were doing a gospel concert outside in the heat of Miami, and they had us on full.
I know y'all was
robes. I was
Oh, no.
like,
I wouldn't have sung.
I know y'all was like, the Lord ain't confirmed none of this in my life. Who
Now,
told
I
y'all
wouldn't
this?
have sung.
I'm not gonna lie, because we was hot, sweaty, and bothered. The voices were everything, but we damn near died of heat stroke. Like you had to cart people out. You know what I'm
And I
saying?
know the audience was like, they sound good, but why the hell they got them hot ass robes on? I know that's what they was thinking.
Jesus.
You know what I appreciate too? I appreciate it too. It started like you saw more of it in the 90s, even though a lot of it started in the 80s. A lot of people would make their albums come from a live concert. Like they would have a live concert and then that would be their new album. Because I love being able to, it's one thing to hear the recording.
Mhm.
It's another thing when you can see them and you can see
Mhm.
them singing and you can see, you can see, I mean, it's almost transmitted through the screen how they're
Mhm.
worshiping. Child, I'm trying to tell you. And nothing beats it when you can see that. When you can see them hold that note, yeah, I want to see that vein going down the side of your throat.
Right.
That note. The
Right.
the KC from Jodeci vein.
I should see the words formulating in your throat. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, I want to
Okay.
see a good shout afterwards when you be shouting because you know.
When you done sang yourself happy,
Right. Them do the best ones.
listen.
Listen, when the choir sing they self happy, child, they
That's
can't
when
even.
you know. That's when you know they did they good singing. When the choir sing themselves happy, we don't even need y'all to come on in with
Yeah,
us.
we don't
That's
need y'all to
okay.
do nothing.
Stay as unmoved as you are right there. Because I listen. This did something for me, and then they take a listen.
Oh, I love a good live version because on a good live version, they're gonna give you a run or a little riff that's just gonna touch your spirit and move you like, oh God, you did that. Like I remember the first time I heard that live Yolanda Adams song when she's saying the battle is not yours. Now I had to heard the album, the original album version. But baby, when she broke it down and she said, this battle is not yours, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
rewind that. Go back.
I told you.
Rewind that. Go back.
I told you.
Go back.
When she
Let
said,
us work.
when she said he knows what you need before you really need it, listen.
Right.
Let Us Worship Him is my most favorite song off that album.
When
I
he
cry
said-
every time.
And when she said, don't forget, it's got to work out this way. Understand that
Mhm.
God knows,
Yeah.
God knows what you need.
Yeah.
Before you really need it.
Come on.
We used to praise dance to that.
Oh.
Baby, every ab lib she did, we had a dance step for her. Every ab lib she did. Like you really got to know how to dance to a Yolanda Adams live. You got to know how to dance. Because if you doing her ab libs alone, that's half the song.
Now, I'm going to say like this. There are some iconic, for me, singles, not albums, or not, the group wouldn't make any list, but there were some singles, like, for example, Milton Brunson, and I forgot what choir that was, because he didn't sing with so many choirs. He had so many choirs. And when they did There Is No Failure, There Is No Failure, the original version.
There is no failure. That one?
Hit me up every time. Yeah. Well, I Told the Storm. Listen.
Who sang that? Is it Greg O'Quinn?
Greg O'Quinn. Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I
Love
Told the Storm.
Really be, and her Catholic upbringing is here. She at the pool.
Right. Listen, I Told
Really
the
be, what
Storm.
y'all used to sing down to y'all church house?
Imenas Domus. It's something in Latin. Something in Latin. Listen.
Wow.
Really be said that's her song.
I told you. Song, baby.
Sure. I mean, what are some singles for y'all that you can remember that just really just made you, yes, some singles? Not necessarily a whole album, but a single that you say, yeah, that took me through.
Okay, hold on. Let me go to no, because I got a playlist. Hold on. That is never an issue.
One song that always make me cry, even to this day when I hear it, always has to be Whitney Houston, I Love the Lord.
Oh, when she says two,
that gets me every time. I cry my eyes out every time I hear that song.
Listen.
I don't know what it is.
when she sang that too,
Listen.
no, I'm ready to go.
First of all, the most times, and I don't even make it to. I sit here. I love the Lord. He heard my cry. I said, okay, Jesus, I'm just okay. That's what I know. Okay, all right. Don't throw me down on the floor, God, because that's it. I'm done. I surrender.
Right.
That's it. Just have your way, God. Just have your way.
I'm going to tell you why Leandria cannot and will never make my list, because I am forever upset with her.
Why?
Because of that one time, and it is recorded. You can go and see it on YouTube. When she had the unmitigated gall to sing Be Grateful, that was sung originally by the great Tremaine Hawkins. And this heifer had to have the words in front of her because she did not know the words and was trying to read the words at the same time. It's unforgivable.
Yeah, she probably was.
We gonna charge that to the bottle and not her heart.
Yeah, because I
Not
think she
Not
do know
gonna
the
be
word.
Because one of my songs is consumed by Anthony
And I
Brown,
love Leandria.
and she sings
Yeah,
the lead on that.
I love Leandria, but I'll never forgive her for that. I would never.
Listen, I forgave Leandria Johnson when I saw her on Liana Van Zandt. I said, Lord, poor girl can't help it. We all got our personal Vietnams. We just got to let her have. She'll come out of it when it's her time to come out of it. Then she gonna sing her face to the floor.
Listen, when I saw that, I said, now you know what? It's a lot of things that I
Cassie
mean.
said she was given the song at the last moment. At the
But
last
no,
minute.
Be Grateful is a
Be
song that you
grateful.
just got to know. When you, cause the
I mean,
words,
did she hold the actual paper in her hands?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
she could at least put it on the forehead.
I've seen people sing from
my, my
phones
thing
and
about
stuff.
it is
So
this.
it's fine. That's not I'm okay with that.
Be Grateful is a song that is just a classic. You got to know God has not promised me sunshine.
Yes.
Wait, come on now.
Wow. Okay.
Just saying.
Well, why don't you grab the mic and show us how it's done?
We ain't doing that. She was paid to sing. They ain't paid me yet. When they pay me, I will. Go ahead and run me my coins now.
Listen. Okay. So some of the newer things that I'm listening to, Travis Green came out with a new album. I think it's the earlier part of last year, early part of this year.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was
the later part of last
2019. Year. I think it was 2019. Because I don't remember it being 2020.
Oh, I don't know. It's he's got a song on his album called Respond. That do something to me. Cause okay, you'll notice that the songs that are currently in my list of worship songs all have to do with somebody and they're calling and they're not doing what they're supposed to. We're not gonna talk about that because I'm dealing with it. So listen, Amber, my mama used to make me sing that song. Let me tell you about I Won't Complain. My mama used to make me sing that song when we go to guest churches, we had testimony time, and my mama can't sing. She would make me get up and sing I Won't Complain, and then she would get up and do her testimony. Apparently I was her hype man, but I mean Mommy.
You know what you got to go? You got to really gospel music changes so much. Now when funny story, I tell this story all the time. Mary, when they first
came out, people was mad. They were.
They were. What? Well, if you go back long enough, and you probably can't, Abby. Remember in the 80s how they used to get mad at the Winans, both the Winans group and BBSCC, because they said they were singing worldly music, and they
was mad about it.
Dared play the Winans in somebody's church and see if they won't throw you out of there. It was for real back then. But the first time I heard "It's the God in Me," I didn't know it was Mary at first. I was in the club.
Oh shit!
I was in the club, and they played that song, and I didn't know it was Mary, and I thought it was some chicks, and I thought they were saying it's the guy in me, and I was like, "Oh, that's a real nasty song," because she talked about getting on her knees. I was like, "Oh, y'all are getting it in on this song." I was like, "Ow!" And then they're like, "Boy, that's Mary. It's the God in me." I said, "Oh God, I'm sorry, God. I didn't know God."
That was my song though, with Kiara Love part up in there, but she tore her part down.
No, my song by Mary is "Get Up." One of my favorite songs by Mary is "Get Up." Listen, I will sit up here and bump to "Get Up" like it is the last song. Get up, because you can't stop. Get up. Got a lot
One
to do.
of my favorite Mary songs is "I'm a Believer."
Get up if you want to.
That was my favorite song from them. "I'm a Believer."
Listen, mine was
"I'm a Believer."
You know what was a quietly slept on album? Mississippi Children's Mass Choir.
Oh, what? 12 gates to the heaven. Hallelujah.
All I need to hear, and you said, "I am your shepherd."
Yes. Wow. Look, my children's choir when I was a kid, we lived by the Mississippi Mass Children's Choir. Okay. 12 Gate, Shepherd, all of that. We sung it all. Okay. And I sing, because everybody
Big
sung that.
Lions on the Spell, yeah.
Everybody sung that version. If you went to a black church, you sung that version.
Mm-hmm.
And that little boy got to sing it. No. I said, you better sing, boy.
That little boy sang, damn. Ow. You hear me? That little boy say down, baby. He saying down. Okay, that's just like
No.
old boy, Toby Ryan sang down on Sister Act 2 soundtrack, and then tried to act like he couldn't sing when he got to whatever group that was. He had talk about wow, I rap now. Boy, we saw you over there singing the high note. Stop playing with us.
Right.
Stop playing with us.
When Jesus, what? Oh, he hit it. He hit it. Yeah. I remember that.
It's a great children's song, like when Love Fellowship Crusade Choir children sang Sweeter with John P. Key. That was my jam. That was my bump right there.
I liked Youth for Christ too.
Mm-hmm.
I love Youth for Christ. I got that.
We cannot forget. They almost made my group because Sounds of Blackness was giving it to you. Okay. I like Sounds of Blackness. They did a whole that Sounds of Blackness. I used to bump to them. But they started making waves in the secular world too with gospel music. Oh. But yeah, that how do y'all feel about Dietrich Haddon? Some people are on the fence. Like some people say, Dietrich, let it go. You cannot sing. Some people be like, I love Dietrich Haddon. We're not talking about his peen being all across the internet. We're not.
I never even knew it was like that. I never knew it was like. I never knew he had.
We're not talking about his infidelity.
How you know he got one now? Me and Abby ain't know. How you know?
I did. I've seen it, and that's another live. We'll talk about that backstage.
You know, I got one album from Dietrich Haddon, and that's the one with Sinner's Prayer on it. So, to me, he can sing. I don't know. It ain't nothing personal against him.
His voice is very nasally, is what it is.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is.
Now, I did like the song he did when was it Mary that he did that song with? What's it called?
I don't know, because we don't know what you're talking about.
He did a song with Mary. It came on the radio. I want to say back in 2008-ish. I can't think of the name of the song, but I did like that song. But as far as him and albums and he the vocal Bible and he in concert or let me buy a ticket, no. I'm not there with
the vocal.
I don't call nobody the vocal Bible.
Who's calling people a vocal Bible?
I'm telling y'all, when it comes to Kim Burrell, I pan on the Bible. Every time I say anything about Kim Burrell, people be like, "Oh, the vocal Bible." That's what she. That's the vocal Bible.
Didn't it call Brady did too? That wasn't the correct assumption of her skills either. But y'all doing a lot.
I don't know what it is.
I'm with you, Abby. They doing a whole lot.
You're doing a whole lot. Nobody asked for
I don't know what it is, but people argue me down when it comes to Kim Burrell being the vocal Bible, and I'm like, I don't see it for her. I can't name y'all one Kim Burrell song. I can't name y'all one Kim Burrell CD, and I've been in church all my life. I can't name y'all nothing related to that song.
She sang a song with Whitney, didn't she?
Yeah. Kim Burrell?
I
don't
know. Did she do a duet with Whitney?
I don't remember that.
I don't remember. She may have. No,
maybe
she did.
I just don't remember.
She did. It was
in a movie. Hold on.
Hidden Figures.
No, because Whitney was dead.
Was it the movie that the remake of the movie that had Jordan Sparks in it? Was it the movie with Jordan Sparks in it right before she died?
I don't know.
I Look to You.
For a movie. Oh,
that's the name of the song. I Look to You.
I thought that was Whitney by herself.
Nope, it's Whitney and Kim Burrell. It's Whitney and Kim Burrell.
Oh,
I mean, because you got to think Whitney's voice was completely gone by that point. So if Kim Burrell was on there, she was sounding a mess too.
I Look to You is not a bad song though.
That's it.
Whitney had complete contralto. Whitney did the full range of singing. Whitney had went from a soprano in the mid 80s, a mezzo soprano late 80s, early 90s, an alto, a good sickling alto, mezzo soprano alto. And then she started slipping into contralto in the 21st century.
That's what you call it? I call it soprano. You was, I think Abby is soprano.
Absolutely not. I'm a tenor. What you mean?
I don't believe that.
That's cute. You're entitled to your wrong opinion, but I'm telling you, I'm a tenor. What the fuck you talking about?
Can't be tenors. Ladies are called contraltos.
Whatever.
That's what they call it?
Yeah, they're called contraltos.
I know. I was standing in the section with the other tenors, and
contraltos sing with the tenors.
Whatever.
Yeah. I got a homegirl that sang both. It don't matter. But she preferred to sing alto, but she'll give you a nasty soprano in a heartbeat. And I said, girl, I don't know how you do it. Because Lord knows, I can barely be.
Tommy said Kim Burrell did a tribute to Whitney, but I guess the original song was supposed to be Whitney's. Only thing people know about Kim Burrell is she's Whitney's favorite singer, and that's when we question Whitney's relationship.
Right. Well, I'm confused because then, if that's the case, why do people always say she did a song with Whitney?
Because she's right here on video doing the song with Whitney.
But that don't mean they recorded it. That mean they could did that in a concert or something like that. I don't know. I don't know Kim Burrell like that. I don't. You know, I'm gonna tell y'all a white woman, old school white woman singer. You don't consider her gospel. People will consider her Christian. But if you ever had a list,
it's the same thing.
I would have her on that. Miss Sandy Patty. I love me some. Said that is a singing ass white lady from back in the day.
And if we want to bring the contemporary version of her, what's the little baby's name? She did a whole gospel album. Oh, little white girl with the curly hair. Oh my God. I'm so old.
What was that song Martha Munizzi did? What was that song?
Martha Munizzi.
Listen, that's a singing heifer right there.
Martha be singing down. Y'all say what y'all want to say about Martha. Martha. She didn't even
Tori Kelly. That's the little white girl's name. I knew it would come to me.
What's her name?
Tori Kelly.
Oh yeah, Tori Kelly sings down. Did you not see her on Terrell show?
Yes, I absolutely.
She came on Terrell. Listen, she came on that with Terrell, and I was here for it. And Tori came on that singing. I said, Tori, with people be coming on that with Terrell. I'd be like, Terrell, you be getting people on here singing down. Okay.
So can Layla Hathaway sing a tenor?
Layla Hathaway can sing whatever the freak she wants to. Honestly, if you want to be honest and true about it. Listen.
Wait, is gospel music black and Christian music white? Huh?
According to how they divide it in a music store, yes.
Yes.
If that's the technical definition of it, like in terms of Grammy Awards, in terms of music stores and how they divide where they put the music, yes. Yeah. There is no difference. That's just how they divide it up. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
You know who I forgot about? Israel Holden. I did like Israel Holden. I did.
Israel Holden. I like Israel.
I like Israel Holden.
I walk around saying all the time, I am a friend of God. He calls me.
Listen.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me my little acoustic guitar and get me playing. Okay. Just saying. I'm just saying. But
these emails really make me want to cuss.
I'm sorry.
Is that really Darnell Walls and that?
I'm not even reading what Dami said no more. I'm not even reading.
I'm about to say, wait a minute.
I can't.
I said, wait, what?
Y'all know what was sad to me? What was sad was when Whitney and Cece did Count on Me, because I remember Whitney and Cece doing "Hold Up the Light." Like I can vividly remember when they went on Arsenio Hall show, and Whitney came on with BB and Cece and sang "Hold Up the Light," and Whitney and Cece was basically battling it out. Like, oh, I know you lying.
I remember that.
You ain't finna outdo me. You ain't finna outdo me either. And they was going at it. And then when I saw them live at, I think, was it the Grammys? It was on something, a live performance they did of "Count on Me," and Cece was singing her under the water. And Whitney was coked out and all of that. And you had saw where Whitney had, going. I mean, Cece at that point Cece was never a full soprano. The best she was a mezzo soprano in her best days. And then she, transitioned into being, a full-fledged alto. But Whitney at that point just couldn't even hold a full note between the cigarettes and the drugs and stuff like that. It was so bad. I remember the first time I heard the song "When You Believe" with her and Mariah, and I was upset about that because Whitney was way past her prime at that point. And every time she took a breath on that song, if you go back and listen to "When You Believe" with Mariah and Whitney, go back and listen to the recording. You can hear every single breath that she takes. It's so, her breathing is so bad. She's like, "Many nights we pray with no proof," and I was like, "Wait a minute, you hearing that?" Whitney. I was like, "No," and so that's when I knew. I said, "Yeah." But and I hated that
the gospel album.
The Preacher's Wife was Whitney's, I guess you would call that her gospel album, because you wanted to hear Whitney do a gospel album in the late 80s. I wanted to hear Whitney do a gospel album in the late 80s when she still had all of the voice and before Bobby Christina was born. If she would have did a gospel album before Bobby Christina was born, that would have changed all of our lists. All of them.
Oh yeah.
All of them. Kelly Price too deprived us because now she did do a gospel album, but it was like
I ain't like it.
It was like
I didn't listen to it. Listen, Kelly Price lost me on R&B Divas. That's where she lost me. She lost me right at that show.
Fanny should have been did a gospel album by now.
Oh my God! I'm telling y'all, when she sung "My Eyes on the Sparrow."
When Fanny sings gospel, you hear anointing immediately.
Oh, she always catches the spirit when she sings her gospel.
Listen, let me help you understand.
I remember that when she was
singing gospel, even when she's not singing gospel.
Exactly.
When she was on I think it was the BET Awards, that they had to help her off the stage because she was finished.
First of all,
and I was for.
There's a gif of that, and I told.
And I said, "Yes, Tasia, you better give it up for him." Yes.
I mean,
what you mean, little baby? What you mean she playing in Pilg's face? What you mean? What's that mean?
Kelly Price hasn't been good since she lost weight.
Ooh. Well, we're gonna leave that right alone. We're gonna leave that right where it's at. Right where it's at.
Wow. Y'all got it. Listen.
Not since she didn't lose the weight, God. Not since she lost the weight, Jesus.
You know who else I would love to hear do a gospel album?
Who?
I would love to hear Tashina Arnold. I love Tashina Arnold. Tashina Arnold.
Yeah.
Tashina
Arnold was a much better singer than
But I'm not gonna lie, her and Tisha Campbell were great together because listen, Little Shop of Horrors, those two, and who was the other girl that was singing with them on Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh, I don't know who the third unnamed.
I don't know who the third one is. I know
maybe they were singing down. Okay.
You think so? Because when they did "Don't Ask My Neighbor," I always thought Tashina sung Tisha Campbell.
Tashina sings way better than Tisha Campbell.
Out. I live for Tashina voice.
Tashina Arnold sings down. She's a much better singer than Tisha Campbell. Sings down.
But Tisha Campbell said, I'm still.
No, Tisha Campbell do push. You got
Push.
to push.
You got to
Come on, no
push.
push. You got to push it till you get it right.
You know,
Oh,
you got
no,
to
when
sing
they-
it till you get it right.
Yes, stick it
When
till you
they
get it right.
did hold up the light, I was 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they did that.
Anywhere from darkness.
Darkness. Yes. They did hold up the
And
light.
then they came up there, girl. Don't nobody want to hear no hold up the light. I was weak.
Child, when they had that Biggie episode where both of them was battling down, and
Pam served her out with that run, baby.
so Sheila Arnold came out singing with "When I think of home, I think of a place." I was
Right.
like, you know what?
Now, when she came into the apartment and singing Gita's name, that
Yes,
she
yes.
sung her. She sung me out.
I was like, you know what? That is my favorite episode of Martin, and by far the
Right.
big episode, because that's where they say, "I'll just be back here dusting and singing in the background." That is still my favorite episode.
That's not my favorite. I have several favorites. The Chilligan Island episode.
Oh my God,
When
that
they
was
was
when
fighting that
that
big
little
rat.
animal
yes.
grabs up. Bam! Hey, Martin,
Oh,
what you doing?
listen. Any episode that featured Hustle Man when he tried to sell them chitlin loaf as their wedding planner, done. Do you hear me? Done. Also, honorable mention to when Martin lost his CD player and he brought all the people in like it was not New Jack City, and he was in black with the fake dog.
No,
Holla.
that one is
Holla.
one of my favorites is that first one with Dragonfly Jones when they was in Gina's apartment and
And he owed that man that
and wait a
money.
minute, and
Right.
he broke into the church. There he went like he broke into the choir. The choir. I was like, you know what, Martin, I'm not doing this with you today.
Nah, when Mama Payne caught the Holy Ghost doing church,
Yes, and
big
she
Holla
shouted
Baby.
from the door all the way to the front and went back to the door and back to the front. To this day, me and my best friend to this day, if somebody be real out of control, we be like, oh, they doing a Martin Mama over there. From that, and we be like, oh, she over there doing a whole Martin Mama over there. She was so out of control over the listen.
Child, we used to call it a Baptist fit. Like, girl, she having a Baptist fit. You better watch out. She 2 hallelujahs away from giving you a Baptist fit. You better watch out.
Listen.
No, the don't you know no
While
good
I was
episode
watching
was my
YouTube
episode.
videos, right? And there what's her name? Melody something. She sang Total Praise at this big Baptist church. And they went into she sang Heaven Down. That whole church should have went up. If it was church like I know church, by the time she got to the end of Total Praise, everybody should have been laid out. Wasn't gonna be no preaching. Wasn't finna be. The service is over. The Lord then came and showed out, and we done.
Lady
And the
Lee.
Lord watch. Them people they started playing the praise break music. The people, I said, oh, they wasn't ready. Okay,
Right.
no. I said, oh, these are. I said, and I had to go back and look at the title of the thing, and it said Baptist Church. I said, oh, okay.
They said
that's
Michelle
what that is.
Wilson
All
said-
right.
They
Because
said
my
Michelle
Baptist church
was
don't like
third
that.
girl in Little Shop of Horrors. That was listen, Little Shop of Horrors. Listen, my favorite song from Little Shop of Horrors is "Somewhere That's Green." That is my jam.
Somewhere that's green.
That is my jam right there.
Listen.
Child, the backsliding pastor, child. It's so
Child.
many characters.
Damn Nick, mine eyes.
No, when he came in,
Yeah,
when he in the choir came in singing, I had a feeling. That was my
We said, I got a feeling everything's gonna be all right. I said, you know what? What am I watching?
I was so done.
David Allen Greer is a whole ass fool.
Yeah.
Nick Allen is a whole fool.
Oh, God.
I love me some
Get
David
me
Allen Greer.
behind me, Satan. Get me behind me. Because he wanted him some Gina.
Yes, God.
When he said, damn it, mine eyes.
Oh,
Yo,
you know,
my favorite classic is "Don't You Know No Good."
don't you know no
Don't you
good?
know no good.
No, no, no.
Don't you know no good? I said, you know what? They done turned.
Oh God.
They had a whole song, a
I'm
whole music video.
Oh yeah, at the end, that was hilarious. I remember that.
Baby, or when they had the pimps, they had the show for
Yeah,
the to raise money,
I
and they
remember
had
that.
all of the pimps came through.
Yeah.
Listen,
When Jerome said, "I'm kicking the car door down and I'm stepping on down," saying to what you call, I hollered. I said, "Jerome is a
oh, no, when they did the Christmas episode and they were stuck in the bus station,
Oh
and
my
she
goodness.
was like, "This is a freak show," and the man got up and said, "Free hoes."
Nobody said free hold, sir. No one said. No one.
Oh yes, Otis, the security guard. He was definitely one of my
Otis.
favorites.
When Otis took that young man's hand, he said, "Getting ready to take you down, boy. Getting ready to take you down, boy."
Deceased.
Oh my God.
Lord Jesus.
Oh, man. Martin was a whole mood. Listen, I met the first black person in my life that told me that they had not seen Martin.
What?
He was a young man. He was in his early 20s. And I told him, I don't care how young you are. You are not black. If you tell me, one, you have not seen Martin, and two, you do not like Martin, I'm sorry. You are not black. I'm sorry.
You black. You just a weird black. We don't.
No,
We
you're not black. Even the weird blacks like Martin.
Right.
Even the weird ones.
You know what? Since we on this, I saw an episode of Living Single yesterday. I forgot all about when what's his face? Girl, what was his name? He was directing the choir at church, and Regine wanted the solo. I think CC.
when Kyle was directing the
Yeah,
choir.
Kyle, they sang that.
And that choir sung me. I said, wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Why y'all better sing this? I was
Lord,
they sang "There Is No Failure." They sang,
Yeah.
"No Failure."
and then
They
Regine
sung
got up.
me.
There isn't enough. I was like, what?
There's never been a time in my life he let me find. And you were looking like, girl. And Cece came and said, "Ma'am, I'll help you sing." And Cece sang down. And they still ended up giving it to Regine.
Boy.
And they still ended up giving it to Regine. And you were like,
Right.
Because Regine was his homie.
What took me out was the choir. I said, I know this for TV, but baby, that choir is singing me up. They singing me up. That's what I'm talking about. Y'all better bust.
They were singing down now. They were singing. They were singing. Every time he conducted them in, they was here for it. Every single time. They was here for it. I was like, Regine, girl. Regine.
Girl. Sis, daughter, niece.
Daughter. And then you had Queen Latifah trying to be womanly in church
Right.
on that Sunday. And we all was looking at her like,
She wasn't
Cleo.
trying to be womanly. She was
Cleo.
trying. What she was trying to do is look like she had been read. She went and got that Bible from the
Right.
from the
I was
Goodwill
like,
and put a
Cleo.
bunch of markers in it, like she had been reading it. Baby,
I
that
was
thing
like,
took me there.
Cleo, stop playing with that. Where's your 4 dookie braids? Okay, give us them 4 dookie braids in your head, Cleo, and stop playing with us. Okay.
But look though, even they had to go up for the choir.
I don't know why, though, baby, because that is my favorite. Kyle
A
Barker's version of My Funny Valentine is
lot
my
of people like
favorite
Kyle
version
Barker's
of that song.
My favorite version of My
That's
Funny
my
Valentine
favorite.
is still Shaka's. I love Shaka's version of My Funny Valentine. That is my favorite. Shaka's version is my favorite. But a lot of people,
Kyle's version that was good though. Kyle did say
Kyle's
that.
version. A lot of people love Kyle's version.
Absolutely. Of My Funny Valentine.
Unfortunately, he was blacklisted in Hollywood because of his sexuality, but that's a whole nother story because those were the early.
No, he do get that. I knew he did. Everybody trying to tell me he didn't. I said, I'm trying to tell y'all something. She ain't got to believe me. People argue me down about that. I said, well, you know.
You said you got a prostate and they ain't believe you. Oh shit.
I'm not doing this with y'all. Y'all see the antics that we have with the antics, Lord.
Oh, God.
Oh God. Did y'all know Sunday Best was out?
Yes,
Yeah,
and I started
know
watching
that.
it last night.
How many episodes are they?
I think
I don't know.
I think they're like 4 or 5 episodes in.
I told you the last time I watched it was when that gay boy got Donnie McKirkland and Kim Burrell together. That was the last one I went up. That was the last one. No. The last one, it wasn't that one. It was when a homegirl started shouting and everybody got mad at Kurt Franklin because he wouldn't let her shout. And everybody was like, oh, Kurt Franklin done lost his way. Kurt Franklin done got too commercial.
No, Kurt Franklin had a
So
job
Franklin
to do.
is going along. He's hosting a freaking show, and
Yeah, he had a job to do, and he had to go. He knew, baby, we not
and
on
trust
here.
and believe they let her shout, and then they edited it out. That's all it was. Like, people calm down.
Because
Everybody was so mad at him. I said, why y'all canceling that man? It is a show. Nah, he should. Nah, because the old Kurt Franklin just would have let her do that. I said, but it's a show.
But they paid him. This is not his show.
Yeah.
You don't have the time. There are time restrictions on this stuff. And then that would have took away from somebody else's time.
Right.
Nope.
People stupid. It wasn't even a live show for him to take away from anybody's anything. Shut up.
A mess. But
stupid stuff. And then
we get ready to wrap it up, y'all, because I've been on here a long time.
I mean, I'm weak.
I didn't even know we've been on here that long. I just looked up and saw it. But
there
you know,
is
it's
no
funny
failure.
how time flies when we're having fun.
We got that at Abby Head. She about to listen to It Ain't No Failure all night.
Yes, God,
Yeah, stuck in my head.
that there is no, because the original "There Is No Failure" by Milton Brunson and what choir is that single with Milton Brunson? That woman sings that "There Is No Failure." Believe it or not, I saw a drag show. This drag queen did "There Is No Failure" in the show. Baby, she did "There Is No Failure" down. Whenever she fell on the ground, and continued to sing.
Listen, the other song stuck in my head is "There Is No Way."
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, God.
Ricky Dillard.
Listen,
you heard it, right? So she was better than what Reese did with Dorinda Clark Cole.
Oh yeah. Oh, because that was a whole mess. Whole mess. Whole mess.
And Womack was in the background about to start shouting, dressed like Mary J. Blige. I remember that. That was hilarious. I was weak. I love you, Reese. I'm just playing that. Get out your feelings.
You know what? Kurt Franklin says he's very straight and he has a porn addiction. Let that man be straight with his porn addiction.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't understand why people gave him such a hard time about that. I said, well, listen, at least he jacking off. Like, y'all mad because he jacking off, then you would be mad if he was cheating on his wife. Like, you can't win for losing with some people.
And y'all can say what y'all want to say about Kirk Franklin, but Kirk Franklin is like 65 years old.
He is.
Kirk Franklin ain't no young man.
He look good though for his age.
He look good for his age. Kirk Franklin look good. Listen, that's just like mother Shirley Caesar. She's in her 80s.
And look good.
She'd have had some work done. You could not make me believe Mother Shirley had no work done. Mother Shirley sometimes looked better in her 70s than she did back in her 30s. Mother that had some work done. I'm just saying. Mother Shirley. Her and Beverly Crawford and all of them, you know, they used to be running circles back in the day. Child, let me.
Well, Kurt Franklin come out the clergy closet before.
I'm not doing it. I'm not reading
Tommy is
not even reading Tommy's comments. Nope. Not even reading it. Nope. Not doing it. Nope.
His Google age is around 50. That's Google, okay? But trust me, Kurt Franklin was born in the 60s, okay?
Kirk,
No.
remember, Kirk Franklin, if you remember the
Y'all
song
doing a
in
lot
the Georgia
right
Mass
now.
Choir, Joy. Joy was written back in the 80s. I know that was back in the 80s. And
What
if that's
song
the
was
case,
it? What song was it Kirk Franklin tried to sing on, and that's when we realized he couldn't sing?
it was a
What
bunch of
song?
About
songs
his
in Kirk
mama,
Franklin
about
and
his
the
dead
family.
mama, and we gonna leave that right there where it is.
It's a bunch of songs he used to sing. And I used to be like, Kirk, let that go. Hezekiah be doing the same thing. Hezekiah, I'd be like, Hezekiah, you got so many gifted singers in your you are not John P. Key. Let it go.
Right.
You are not John P. Key. Let it go.
Oh, but his
Now,
wife would sing you down now. Second Chance, that's my most favorite song from him.
Now,
I said,
Monique,
you
you
got the same
got to have
mom.
the right song for Monique because Monique has the type of voice you have to be able to write for her. This is the Gospel of Jesus Christ. I think that was a great song for her.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I forgot all about that song. That's my song.
It's her best song.
Mhm.
Second Chance is by far her best song.
Mhm.
When she gets to the end of Second Chance, that's when I feel it, and I'll be like, yes, okay, I'm here. I'm ready to go on. I'm here for you, Monique. But Monique, her husband got it right for her. Her husband got it right for her. Did you see their daughter just got engaged?
No.
The other day.
No, but I saw one of his children.
To some fat little man. He wasn't
Child, let the child be in love.
cute. I'm mad at him, but he wasn't cute.
Well, he's cute to her, so that's all that matters.
He probably
Listen, damn it, I lost my train of thought fooling with y'all on this show.
Dami over here talking about Jonathan McReynolds. This is why I'm not reading Dami's comments no more. Nope.
Everybody doesn't have to be in the.
See,
Just
like,
because
right
that's some people's testimony doesn't mean it's everyone's testimony.
Right. Not everybody's.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
a mess.
Okay, but don't let Miss McKirkland fool y'all, okay?
Yes,
she pissed me off in that interview when she was talking about, well, I'm still single because God hasn't sent me my perfect wife yet. I said, girl, listen.
Mariah and see, now we got Mariah Whitney in the chat. So now we got to deal with Dami and then oh Lord. See, now it's time to shut her down.
Mariah Whitney came out of nowhere. How you doing, Mariah Whitney? Normally she got something smart to say. She gonna say something in a minute.
You know Mariah Whitney, Joe. Mariah Whitney, I love Mariah Whitney, and Mariah Whitney is gonna come out at some point. At some point, you do. Mariah Whitney is gonna come all the way out of pocket. Anyway,
do y'all like Mother Shirley's song? You name it.
Oh, that was one of her best songs. Listen, that was a bump that is probably got her more notoriety than any of her gospel songs. I'm just telling you. Greens, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. Everybody knows that. And was jamming to it like,
I was about to ask you to clap them cheeks on cam, but I got a real question. Mariah Whitney, you got some ones? You got some ones? I'll clap some cheeks.
See what we're talking about. See.
This will turn into P Valley in a heartbeat.
No, it won't. Not
Nope. Not when it won't. Get off screen. Nope. But y'all, can we get some Shondos in the chat before we get out of here, man? We have had a great time.
Yes.
On here with y'all. Y'all don't even understand. We really enjoy talking some gospel music with y'all.
Bring the choirs back. Bring
the choirs back. Yes.
Bring them back.
And you know what I'm saying? Bring real gospel groups back.
Right.
I ain't talking about gospel groups that's just really a small choir. I want, real gospel groups back because we used to have some great gospel groups and some great choirs.
Now I agree with you on that one, Mariah Whitney. I do. Now you went the long way around, but I do agree with you with that. I do.
I don't even want to know.
No, it wasn't bad. It was if Donnie McClurkin doesn't want to be gay, I think it's said he has to be alone for the
No,
rest
I
of his
said I don't want to know because I just read Dami's comment and I'm just like, this is why we have to get off.
Can we do a sexy Sunday gay church day? Yeah, go ahead and log off.
Yeah, let's just go ahead.
Well, there is one in Atlanta. It's called Division Center. I mean, gay porn stars. They got a gay pastor. You know, but they choir
This is
sang.
great, y'all. I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for being present.
And they pastor preach. I heard him. I mean, he
May the Lord watch
I guess
between
he's
me
more,
and
but we
thee
just gonna keep it going.
while we're
Don't
absent
stop
one from
doing that.
another. Amen. All right.
Oh dear God. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I